Welcome back to another episode of the When It Matters podcast. I'm Elle Noble, the Founders Associate here at Mesh, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host for the day, Hilary Lewis.
Thank you. I'm Hilary. I am from the Digital Accountancy Club. I'm the community manager over there, and it's been a pleasure meeting all the fabulous women we've had on today.
This is part of the special series celebrating International Women's Day, and so I'm here with Vanessa and Arlyne. So if you guys want to give some quick intros, if anyone hasn't met you guys before.
We've already established that we're both from up north. So I run a practice called Premier Tax Solutions that's based in Stoke, and I live over in Cheshire. I'm a mum of two, and I'm part of the DAC as well, and have been for a long time.
You're like an OG.
I am an OG.
Love it. So Arlyne Chinyanganya, I'm the founder of Risty Fruit. I'm a qualified accountant through SEMA, and I started a business that supports individuals and business owners to manage their finances, really to just empower them to feel financially confident. And we do that through coaching, through workshops, through consulting, and the boring part, which is returns as well.
Love it. And so can you guys tell us a little bit about how you got to being kind of practice owners and like what your journeys were to get there?
Okay, so I started in a top 10 firm and started out doing the ACA qualification, and then I got pregnant with my daughter. She was a total surprise, and obviously very blessed to have her. But at that point, because I was a high-risk pregnancy, I couldn't keep driving all over the West Midlands in the audit department that I was in. So they put me in the office and put me in tax. And so I absolutely loved it and asked to stay in tax. So there are strange people like me that love tax. And so I came back from maternity leave and then decided that I wanted to do the tax qualification. So I'm ATT qualified, and I stayed there for a little bit, moved away, ended up getting divorced, unfortunately. And then it was my return back to Stoke from the Lake District that then meant I needed to find a job. I was on my own. I still wanted my career. I'd got a mortgage to myself, and I got childcare to think about. And at that time, I went for a job interview and they offered me, I think it was like 17k a year. And I'm like, how am I going to pay for a mortgage and childcare? And also there wasn't the flexible working like there is now. So I decided, well, I'll just do it myself. So set up just doing tax returns at the time. And I'd take Lucy to school in the morning, go back home, work on the second-hand laptop all day till I picked her up. And then when she went to bed at night, I'd get it back out again. So that's kind of like how I ended up setting the practice. So it was kind of like half forced because of the situation that I found myself in. And I have got a business partner as well, Emily, so I must give her a mention. And I'm the person that leads as a stray, so I asked her to come in business with me, which hopefully she doesn't regret. But yeah, so I led her astray and asked her to come in, and yeah, that was nearly 11 years ago now.
So a long time.
Yeah.
And especially to come out of necessity, I think, like
I was backed into that corner, and I had to fight, and I had to make it work was the thing. So I even got a job in like Marks and Spencer's. So I was in the cash office. I applied for a warehouse job. I would like pack people's orders or unload the wagons, didn't care, just so I could get my practice off the ground.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I feel like that's so inspirational, especially when women kind of get into a situation where this isn't what I planned for originally, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna get up and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start my own business, and then 11 years. That's inspiring. I mean, in terms of for myself, it came about in 2020 when I was quarantining with my parents, and at that stage, a lot of people were asking questions about managing their finances. And initially, it wasn't going to be for business owners. It was just financial education for everybody. And it turned into people feeling like, oh, wow, you're explaining it really easily. And it grew to going into other businesses and partnering up with large organizations like HSBC, Halifax, and loads of other businesses. And then I thought, a lot of business owners keep coming because I say I'm an accountant, and they wanted the same type of support in terms of feeling empowered to manage their finances, business finances. So then I thought, okay, this is great. Let's start doing that. Let's start helping the business owners to manage their own finances rather than just sending their bank statements to their accountant and not even knowing how much revenue they made. And it's like, okay, so we need to just sort this out. So that's when the practice side was birthed. And we've supported over 100 business owners now. 2 have raised for investments, which I'm really proud of. And we're just trying to get small business owners to become larger business owners by confidently, like, they understand their finances.
Because so many don't, do they? Like, you're in quite a vulnerable position as a business owner. And I think having that, if you can have a little bit of secure knowledge yourself, it makes those conversations with the people that you're working with, the external people that can understand, like, instantly what's going on, it makes those conversations that much easier, doesn't it?
100%.
And I guess you guys, I think, there's a lot of talk about kind of resilience with like women founders and women starting their own business and stuff like that. And I think both of your stories kind of really embody that, particularly also with Arlyne, looking to really, empower business owners who perhaps have had a difficult time understanding their finances and getting their venture off the ground. And I guess, how have maybe like the kind of hard seasons that you've had kind of helped shape your practices now, and also how you empathize and kind of look after your clients as well, who also need to kind of know that it can get better and that sort of thing.
I think for me, that's why I ended up doing some coaching as well, because there were so many things that I'd learned over the years, and I know you've mentioned coaching as well, that it almost goes hand in hand. And I think so many people have issues of just putting some boundaries in place and saying, I'm not working all these hours. No, we don't do out of hours appointments, or sometimes we just have to prioritize things in life. And I do think that the coaching side has definitely helped with me with that side.
And the coaching, this is other accountants and fractional CFOs, small businesses.
Other accountants and I say ladies in professional service roles. And it's made a massive difference. But I think resilience has been a key theme all the way through mainly due to personal circumstances, but I think they then transition into your firm as well, and almost kind of make you a little bit tougher.
Interesting. Can you talk a bit more about that? Is it in terms of like making hard decisions and like being able to kind of
because I think I'm a recovering people pleaser is the thing. So as a lot of people are, and like I'd have a really hard time saying no, whereas now I really focus on what does matter in life. Like for me, I was saying earlier as we sat outside that I'm not too fussed about scaling and getting a massive accountancy practice. What I want is to work with really nice people, really nice staff, have a nice time, but be really present for my family and comfortable. And that's what matters to me.
Love that. I think so similar, to be honest, where being an accountant and then also a business owner and feeling like I overcame some stuff. So what does that actually mean? It's feeling like an imposter when walking into a room and feeling like, do I belong here? Like setting up a practice, a firm, what do you mean? I had a different life plan, I think, initially in my early 20s, and then now decided to pivot and open a business. And there's loads that I've learned that during those kind of sessions with business owners, you start to feel like, okay, you are also going through that. You're also doubting yourself, and there's a big part when you're a business owner where you need to have the right mindset. You need to have faith that you're actually going to make money. You need to have faith that what you're doing people actually want, and also trust other people to be able to deliver, because you're not just one person when you're managing a business. So having those conversations alongside the normal finance conversations just started to happen. And I just feel like where I've been empowered by other people, I also owe it to other women to empower them too.
That's so well said.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of women, like, we haven't been sat at the table for as long. Women's access to finances is so behind. Like, women couldn't get a mortgage before 1975. We couldn't get business loans before 1988. We weren't even taxed independently, I think, before 1992. Like, this is in recent years that I think we don't realise, or women in business in particular don't realise the networks, the advantages that a lot of men have had because they've just had access to other people in business. And I think it's vitally important for women, especially now, to have those people around us like yourselves who can coach them and talk them through the process and help them understand things in a much more simpler way. Would you say that you've actively sought out other women, or has it just been a natural progression?
100%, because I think the kind of things that we face as women, especially that when you're on your own and you've got kids, they're the only people that get you and get what's going on. And I just think when I was growing up as well, I didn't have any role models that were women in business. Like, that wasn't really a thing. And so now I think we kind of try and push that out a lot more to support each other and, you know, pull the ladder down and make sure the other women are getting up to bring them up with us, than, you know, just put the ladder down and then just as soon as you're up it's fine, like pull it up. That's not the case. It's like helping everybody. And I think the more that we have like open conversations about different things, then I suppose we're a lot more open and feel a lot more understanding, a lot more connected to each other as well.
And I don't know if sometimes, you know, your algorithm is yours, right? But I feel like, well, the news isn't. Everybody sees the news, and we're recording in 2026, and the amount of things that we've heard in 2025 directly from America, and trying to make out that, you know, having them have a seat at the table, it's not necessary. And just hearing that, I said, hold on, what's going on? So where you're saying that someone's taking away the ladder, it does feel like where we're trying to build, there's two other people that are trying to take it away. And it's so vital now that we all kind of knuckle down and just empower each other. Otherwise we're gonna go back to 1992.
It's so true though. Like, it's so scary, but like, that's so true now more than ever. To make sure. I mean, I guess I actually want to talk a little bit about like mentorship as well, and like obviously you guys do that yourselves. And I know, Vanessa, you mentioned when you were growing up you didn't necessarily have those kind of role models. I know also the DAC provides like the most incredible kind of mentorship to its members as well.
Obviously we do have like regular coaching sessions, and I think like certainly the level of like webinars and resources that are on hand and provided, we're very community driven, so we listen to what is needed and then try and provide that and kind of shape the community around the wants and needs of the community. So that works quite well. But I think there's always space for more, isn't there? And I think understanding like where you sit, as you said before, like that sending the lift back down or handing the ladder, you're in a position of privilege if you can consider yourself to have made it on social media or in your profession or in your home life. Like, I think it's having these conversations and being more open and transparent about the way we have got there, or the struggles that we have had, that it hasn't been easy, is very important, especially for the young girls that are coming up through school or education systems now.
Massively. Do you either of you have like mentors yourselves that you've kind of found, or have you kind of, you know, you guys have completely built these on your own?
No,
and
I've had, well, I started with a mentor that was she's a corporate litigation specialist, and she started with us very early on and just gave us like an hour every couple of months, and would meet up as we still meet regular. I voice noted her last night and went for lunch with her yesterday, so it was really nice. But then also Jerry that runs the DAC, I had coaching from Jerry for about 2 years, I think it was. So I just think, why reinvent the wheel or do it the hard way when other people can help you to get there a lot quicker?
So true. Do you as well? Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to think, but it's been maybe a year and a half now since I've had my mentors, but earlier on, and I also attended accelerator programs which also give you a bit of mentorship and helped to provide structure and truly understand the business model. It looks very different to originally what I thought it would look like. So there's been a lot of informal mentors as well, where it's like you're just having a conversation with someone who's been in the business for 20 years. And I think, there's so much there where you can learn from other people, as you said, that have done it already.
And I guess, do either of you have any, like, maybe not necessarily to name names, but do you have any kind of, I guess, perhaps favorite stories or moments when you've been running your practice where you've had a woman kind of come to you, in a difficult situation, or just needing a little bit of help on the kind of financial empowerment side, and she's kind of
Quite
left
often.
do you
and
have any
because you're a woman that's in business and you're a mom, and they see that side of you. I don't dress in like a suit or anything. Like, usually at work I'm in like a hoodie and jeans. That you do feel a lot more approachable, and they'll come to you like they'll be going through a divorce and they need somewhere, or they just don't even know where to start, and so they're like, well, who can you put me in touch with? And sometimes it's just having that person that you can offload to and let off a bit of steam, and then you've got some good bits of advice and put you in touch with some people that can help as well.
And the same for you. Do you have any particular stories that come to mind, I guess?
And I think there's so many. However, where it's been one-on-one and someone's written an email to say this is how you, and I had no idea that that's how much of an impact the work that we were doing actually had on them. Is just then receiving an email maybe 2 months after they'd already kind of left the program, and then they just explained how they've gained more confidence and they've changed their lives, and they've taken what we've learned and they're passing it on as well, where I just felt like, oh, okay, I'm doing something.
It's a lovely like full circle moment.
Hope you save them and have a look, when you're having a day that
A
you're feeling a
wobble.
little bit down. I do that, and I always put like my high points and like to reflect over them, so that the days where you are suffering, that you've got something to pick you up.
That's a really valid point. I think a lot of people assume that once you're kind of visible and people can see what you're doing, that social media it can give like quite a false impression of the all round what's you've only got a little post-it note space that you can shine on as such. And I think that's quite hard to, like, how would you say that you deal with just you showing the realities, because both of you are very good at talking about the highs and lows.
I think I've got more confidence now to be open and show the vulnerabilities, because the people that I do kind of, I suppose, like look up to, they are the ones that are showing that actually they're not superhuman. They've got children and they're doing really well in the business and living a really happy, good life. But I just find that where people don't show that side of things, I find it harder to relate to them. And if I'm looking to work with somebody, for instance, like, I like to know a bit more about them, and I think that's where personal branding comes in a lot. That people buy from people that we like and trust.
That's true.
And I like that social media, then you can express that, but also there's a good level. Sometimes it's like you don't want to show too much. People, I don't know, could lose confidence. I don't know. Or is that
overshare?
Like overshare. Like, so just being mindful of that, because also you have your own life where it's like it's yours. But it's very important to show the highs and the lows. I think there was one time where I just complained about something. I think I had applied for the Innovation Award, that you get the Women Innovation Award, and I think the feedback came in, and that was the year that everyone kicked off, and I'd written my first long LinkedIn, and the amount of people that then called, message, and they're like, can we just go for coffee? We won't talk about work, because it was just so out of character. But I was like, yeah, sometimes you just have to vent that this is hard.
I think that sense of community, having those people that you can vent to and get that support from, is quite important.
Yeah, I think it's such a lifeline. Actually, I saw a post today about how like 80% of running a business is pain. I was like, oh, I hope it's not 80% or something like that. And I was like, God. But like the fact that the LinkedIn kind of depiction of like being a business owner is so glamorous and shiny, and yeah, the reality is that it's really tough. And I think I'd love to talk a little bit, Arlyne, about your kind of initiative, Empower Her, because that's all to do, isn't it, with supporting women in business.
So it's our fourth one now in 2026. It started off from just feeling like, actually, when I go to networking events, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like people care about my situation, and I just wanted to then reflect that through our business. And the first one was actually at the SEMA headquarters, and we had the president then, Sarah Gosh, as one of the panelists, and my old manager, she was one of the other panelists. And I shared to her that her showing her vulnerability, honestly, I felt so close to her after that. So that was our first event, and the fact that it was supported by such a large institute, and we were at their headquarters, and it just felt like, okay, we need to continue doing this. And then it evolved to Empower Her for business owners and just, any woman that just feels like they want to feel empowered and learn about managing their finances, connect with other women that are in similar situations, walk away with books, because we've got authors that then come, you can sign your book, as well as have some food, have some drinks. So that's Empower Her in a nutshell. And each year it keeps on building on, and people are volunteering for things, which I feel like, okay, we have to just keep on going if people are willing to like come along and offer up stuff. So that's on the 14th of March at the Trampree in Shoreditch.
Oh my gosh,
amazing.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So can we buy tickets, or do we turn up? Or how does it? Yeah.
At least let us know that you're coming. That would be great. Yeah. Say hello.
Everyone in the droves.
Everyone. Yeah.
Open the door, please. No, so the tickets are on Eventbrite or on our website, or DM me if can't find them. So it's Empower Her under the Roots to Fruits Eventbrite banner. Tickets are available. We could offer up a discount code for
Yes.
for this series.
It's who you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See you there. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's such an amazing initiative. And I think something I also wanted to ask you guys a little bit about, particularly when it comes to advising business owners, I'd love your thoughts on this as well, is that, particularly on LinkedIn, I think there is a lot of talk about like, scaling really visibly and like, not profit at all costs. Actually, I don't really think I see that on LinkedIn that much. Like, I think it's more human than that. But like, yeah, a huge amount of kind of discourse around like, I'm going to build my practice and then I'm going to exit and it's going to be this huge thing. I would love your, both of your takes on kind of how, when you're also when you're advising other business owners, and also when you think about your own practice and what you really want, what does kind of success mean to you, and like how do you help others kind of work out what they really want as well, whether that is for them? Yeah,
I think success can mean very different things to different people, and I think at different times in your career it can be something different. So if you go back 11 years ago when I set Premier Tax up, I probably would have said I wanted to scale huge, have like 10 staff and $1 million turnover, whereas what I want right now is completely different. And so I'm not fussed about scaling up. I want a profitable firm where I can work school hours, work with nice clients, nice staff, and just live a nice life. That is enough. And I don't think enough is said about this. So it's always we're chasing the next milestone, but enjoy the journey. And at what point is it enough? Like, you need to step back sometimes and just have a think about what's enough. So I work with this with both the clients for Premier Tax and my coaching clients, and we dig into their why. Like, why are they in business? What is it that they want? What does success look like to them? And then you start then formulating a plan. and it's really interesting to hear what a lot of them say, because most of the time it isn't scaling to this, you know, huge business. It quite often revolves around a family life, to be fair, or, you know, being able to spend time with like parents if they're looking after parents and things like that. So everybody is different, but my version of success has definitely changed over time as well.
It's really interesting. So with every client, as part of your onboarding with them, do you sit down and actually get into their why from day one?
We do talk about it a little bit on the discovery calls, because when we're taking clients on, one of the biggest things that I look for is kind of, do our values and morals align? And, you know, I like to find out about things. So like, I'll remember clients by like how many children they've got, or like, you know, the little town that they live in, or, you know, various little things. And I just think it's nice where you get into the human side of numbers, because that's ultimately why everybody is in business, really, to support the family, you know, whether it's dependents as in children, or parents, or, you know, whoever it is in the family.
So lovely. Yeah, humanizing the numbers. I love that. It's such a theme. Yeah.
It's a tagline.
Yeah.
It's a hard one, because I feel like 5 years ago I wasn't really even sure that this was a business. It's like something I was offering up for free, and yeah, I was just figuring it out. Whereas now it's actually successful. I'm on a podcast with you amazing ladies, and it's growing. I now also have my own podcast, and I think the sky's the limit, but I have a feeling that there's another business that's gonna come out of me. And maybe this will run itself, who knows? But that's the thing, I think as a business owner, you do not know what's gonna happen in 3 months, let alone a year. So it's really hard to make those kind of solid plans and hope for an exit. I think this will just kind of keep running and hopefully be sustaining my life when I'm looking into this second business.
Can you give us a sneak peek, or is it top secret?
Watch this space.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
I'm sure it'll happen for you. I think it's one of those things, isn't it? If you've got that kind of, I think business owners, they have that something inside of them that kind of gives them that drive to go out on their own. And I think once you've kind of got it, it's very hard to put it back in the box.
Yeah. I think that's so true. Yeah, although when I saw that LinkedIn post today where it was like 80% of running your business is pain, I was like, oh god.
Yeah, but then that makes me think that actually maybe they're not running it particularly well, because as someone who, I mean, I was in business a long time, I didn't think it was pain. It was not painful being there. It was relentless. It was all consuming. Like it was like, I didn't have kids then. It was like the whole thing of my life, but it wasn't painful.
It's painful times, but I think in time as well that it gets easier to deal with, because you just get used to it, and it's like, oh, it's just another problem, we'll sort that and move on. And
well, the longer you've been in business, the more that you see, don't you? So the more you see, the more it's not scary then once you've already done it once. Someone's left. It is perspective.
Just to wrap up, I've got two last questions for you. So firstly, this year's International Women's Day theme is give to gain. I keep saying it the wrong way around, so it's give to gain. With a huge focus on kind of collaboration, support, reciprocity, that sort of thing. And I would love to know, what's the thing that you're kind of proudest to have kind of given in your career, and what's perhaps the biggest thing you've gained from your role as accountants and practice owners?
It's quite a deep question, isn't it, that
philosophical,
one? I think for me, being quite open as to my struggles and the things that have gone on. I did a speaking event, I think it was November. There was 125 ladies in the room, and I had to tell them all about my story, about kind of how I set up Premier Tax, and then the things that went on in my personal life in 2022-23, which were really pivotal years, and it completely changed my outlook on life. And you know, I was like, at one point did a breakdown, and I was like trying to hold the tears back, but then so many people said that they'd been through similar things, or they found it really inspiring. And then I was there with my screenshots. I was just like, oh, you know, like that just feels amazing. If I can change, like, you know, one person's thought process, or, you know, impact their life in a positive way by sharing something, then that is everything. and I just want to keep doing that, you know, be more open about things.
I love that.
That's so lovely. Yeah.
Inspirational. I find it so hard because it's been such a long journey in a very good way.
Yeah.
So in terms of what I've given, you know, the resource that we cannot get back is time, and giving people time and offering up your time for speaking engagements as well. Sometimes, a lot of the times has been just, okay, I'll just do it for you. Your friend is setting up your business, so I'll just come along and then talk about whatever I do. And also in those consultations, sometimes it goes over and then you're just giving up your time and giving yourself, you know, you're sharing your story when you had a young baby and also, you know, went through the divorce. You are giving up a part of your life to inspire someone else. And I feel like where we are trying to empower each other, if you share what's happened in your life, you're giving a part of yourself. And I've been so happy to do that because of the response from people and what I've gained from it. I'm a different person. I'm a different person. I like this version as well. She's doing quite a lot, and she's expanded, as you were saying, Hilary. Like it's like a elastic band, so I can take more than I thought that I ever could. And yeah, so I think I've gained loads of confidence from this journey, and looking forward to seeing what else happens.
Oh my god, two such lovely answers. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It's stunning. Okay, last question, guys. Who would you like to, basically at the end of the podcast, we like to nominate another woman, spotlight someone who's doing something cool, something different in the accounting and finance space. Yeah, a little shout out. Does anybody come to mind? You can do one or maybe two.
Yeah, definitely I could start. So this woman came to our Empower event in 2025, and she recently shared on social media that she had gone through something in the first quarter, and coming to that event she just felt like she learned from a lot of the women that were on the stage, and she's grown her social media platform from like 400 to hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And she put it as, because of the event that Rooster Fruits did, I learned from this person, this person, this person. I stopped and I cried because I was like, what? Your business? This is crazy. And it really kind of gave me a lot of energy. So she is Nicole, I can't say her last name properly, the London accountant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love her.
She's amazing. And the fact that I played any part in her journey is just like, okay, you gotta keep going.
Yeah. I think for me it'd be Amy Hancock, which I believe she was in today recording.
Oh, did you miss each other?
I saw photos on Hilary's phone. I was like, is she here? But Amy does a lot to bring other accountants together, and she's always got time for other people, and she's organising yet again, bringing a group of us together, and you know, she's just so selfless. So shout out to Audit Amy.
Yeah, shout out. Plug for her episode. Oh, guys, Arlyne, Vanessa, thank you so much. I've so enjoyed this one. So thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.